And I recently was speaking to her mother about our childhood, because her mother was asking me, like, I've been thinking about, you know, did my two daughters experience racism growing up in New York? So I wanted to put that question on you. And we talked about it, and I was like, well, that's so fascinating. And yes, but also, and we can talk about that, but you're making me realize that, and I'm saying this to her mother, I said, you're making me realize that I was like inoculated in this way that a lot of people didn't have, because I always was surrounded by a diversity of specifically Chinese diasporic people. So I grew up my in New York, and so I always had evidence for a wide range of what it meant to have roots in China in some way. And I said that, yeah, it just like came out. I wasn't like planning to say that. And she, and it was just like a really touching conversation. But to like be specific, some of my friends growing up who had like Chinese identity in some way were my Taiwanese friend whose parents considered themselves bin Shenzhen from Taiwan. And then I had like two friends whose families were from Shanghai and spoke Shanghainese with their parents. And then my parents came from Anhui and Shandong provinces respectively, and they had like met in college. So I'm working backwards in your question because, my parents both were first generation like urban citizens, first generation college graduates, like first generation in the US. And it seems I'm like in awe of how much community they built, basically. And that actually, I use the word inoculate, like actually really bolstered me against kinds of like verbal abuses that I experienced, because I just had so much overwhelming like evidence to the contrary, I guess,